told that this is working. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm Paul Pruitt, and I'm happy to welcome you all here, and particularly these guys, all of you. And I'm here to introduce Albert Radcliffe. And he was on stage here last night on a drama that some of us saw. Some of you saw his drama and his reading another time, and he was a priest. So maybe he hasn't gotten over that. So I introduce Father Albert. He put this all together.
Thank you, my son. May I welcome you. This is a thrilling evening, and you're going to see an amazing performance. I'm involved with JazzEd because last summer I found out a lot about an organization in Venezuela called El Sistema. El Sistema is a program that was started several years ago by a man who had a dream, and that was to bring music education to every child in Venezuela. He started out with a few parents and a few children in a garage. Today there are 300,000 children in Venezuela, all of whom have learned to play a musical instrument, and they all play in orchestras. They're getting an excellent music education. Now, in getting involved with that organization, I did a little bit of research. And I learned that music education in children affects a part of a children's brain that nothing else can touch. And it makes better students of them. And also, by children being involved in an orchestra, there are many psychological advantages. For one thing, they learn responsibility. They have instruments to take care of. They learn discipline. They have to come to rehearsals. They have to practice. They also learn teamwork. That's something many children do not learn in our society, actually, and that's why I think we have so many gangs that form. But not only is it teamwork, but they also learn discipline. And it's proven that children who have a music education become better students, and consequently they become better citizens. After learning about El Sistema, I looked into what's possible here in Detroit, and I was glad to note that the Seattle Youth Symphony Orchestra has embraced this program. And this year, there are 8 schools in West Seattle and South Seattle where they're trying to bring music education to children in disadvantaged communities. After learning about Seattle Youth Symphony, I learned about JazzEd, which is a brand new program started last fall. And neither the Seattle Youth Symphony nor JazzEd can do what they do in Venezuela, because in Venezuela the children go to school and then stay in school for another 4 hours and get music lessons and learn to play with their group, and then they gather every Saturday to play as an orchestra. Well, we're not there yet. But JazzEd has started, and I'm going to ask Lori Anderson, who's the executive director of JazzEd, to tell you a little more about this organization. But I'm a sponsor of this group and also of the work of the Seattle Youth Symphony. And my dream is to do something that one day every child in the Seattle school system will learn to play a music instrument and get a musical education. And by doing that, we will create the kind of leadership our country is going to need in the difficult years ahead. And I thank you. You know, in any country, the best investment the people of those countries can do is to give their children the best education possible. And if we're going to save our world, we're going to have to make that commitment to our children all over the world. And I'm happy to be here tonight. I'm thrilled that you've come. I was glad to be able to work it out for the people of JazzEd to come here. And I think what you hear tonight will be nothing short of a miracle. For these children have only practiced together about 5 months. And they're going to just knock you out. I know that. Thank you all for coming, and I'd like to introduce Lori Anderson to tell you a little more about JazzEd.
I'm going to have to take Albert on the road with me. Hard to follow up what he's said so eloquently. My name is Lori DeCook, and I am the executive director and co-founder of Seattle JazzEd. And this is our first year in operation. We launched in September after a couple of years of hard work and planning with a very dedicated small board of directors. And in September, we held auditions for our first year, and we had 60 kids show up and be placed in 3 ensembles. So we have a beginning, an intermediate, and an advanced ensemble. And then in January, we added a 4th ensemble with another 20 kids. We call that our New Works Ensemble. And it's a group of sort of high-level advanced high school students who are playing new compositions and more experimental jazz. And that band is conducted by Wayne Horvitz, who's a world-renowned composer and keyboardist. Our advanced ensemble is directed by Clarence Acox, who many of you, if you've been in Seattle for a while, must know of him and his Garfield fame. And then our beginning and intermediate ensemble are directed by Robert Natt, who also is a nationally acclaimed jazz educator who had conducted or directed the bands at Washington Middle School for almost, I don't know, he's been in the school district for 30 years, retired, and we yanked him out of retirement this year to direct these bands. The mission of Seattle JazzEd is to make sure that all students in the region have access to the highest quality music education, and we work hard to reach these students. We do charge a tuition, but we also provide scholarships to every student who needs it. We provide private instruction to students who need it, instruments. We really want to make sure that the playing field has been leveled and that every child has an opportunity to play. Tonight you will be hearing from our intermediate ensemble. These kids are 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and you are going to be amazed. They have been rehearsing once a week, 2 hours a week, since mid-October, and they took a break at Christmas break, and they took a break at midwinter break. So maybe they've had 16, 17 rehearsals. I'm really proud of them, and I think you're going to be very impressed. Thanks for coming.
Lori Anderson couldn't make it. And my name is Albert Ratcliffe. I'm Bill Jones.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
And I think these 2 eloquent people have said pretty much all that needs to be said. Now I think it's time to listen to some music. Our first song is an old standard, Big Spender.